Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and all the others. This is Alex, W7FTM, along with Vicky, K8VKY. We will be your net control for the Starnight Trivia Net number 143. This is a directed net, so all traffic should go through net control. Does anyone have any emergency or priority traffic they were holding until the start of the net? If so, please come out. If you do have an emergency at any time during the net, just say break, break, identify your station, and we will come to your assistance immediately if it's that important. The format of the net is live trivia, interesting facts that will fit into your brain like a cat in a cardboard box. One random question will be read to each person who checks in. You'll have 3 answers to select from. And remember, be confident, but guard against overconfidence. You don't want to end up like Sir Robin at the Bridge of Death when he was asked what the capital of Assyria was. It's absurd. Anyway. Question of the night, what's your favorite nickname someone has given you, and how did you get it? Your favorite nickname. Not everybody has one, but I'm guessing a lot of us do. Your favorite nickname that someone gave you, and how did you get it? Let's see who's checked it in tonight so far via the text and email lines. We have Dylan George, Scottsdale, Arizona, KJ68RR, plays by email. Got his question correct. JR2FJI, George, in Kawagoe, Japan, is on vacation. He played by email. Missed his question, but he did have a nickname. Gnosis Essene. That's an odd one. Little Al, Monterey, California, N6MOT. Dave in Portland, KK7HLD. Mike in San Diego, KN6MIK. Victoria in Phoenix, KK7AVK. Brent in Pensacola, Florida, KF6HTJ. Timothy in Tillamook, Oregon, KK7NXV. Nicholas, Madison, Wisconsin, KD9ESS. Alex in Pasadena, Texas, KD5HAZ. Roy in Blasdell, New York, K8BYU. Fred in Reno, K7FPS. Robert in Kelly Ridge, Australia, played by email tonight. He got his answer correct. Scott in Jamestown, New York, N7FGP. Joe in East Islip, New York, K2AP. Let me drop. We have Wes in Grants Pass, Oregon, KD6CIR. Don in Kennewick, Washington, KI7ZRI. Frank in Lancaster, New York, KC2JP2. JPQ. Stephanie and Larry, Oak Grove, California, KN6JLW and KN6JLX. John in South St. Paul, Minnesota, KB0GUF. Chris in Hollywood, Florida, KT4UPK. Teresa, College Station, Texas, KU5MUX. Patrick, Madison, Wisconsin, NT9A. Anybody else like to join us? Full call signs and a big price, please.
This is Kilo 6 Kilo Juliet Victor. Kilo 6 Kilo Juliet Victor, Kevin in Valley Springs, California.
J5 MEL Kilo Juliet 5 Mike Echo Lima in Austin, Texas. Jose.
Road, Texas.
3 Yankee Bravo Sierra, Victor Alpha 3, Yankee Bravo Sierra, Phil in Dunville, Ontario. Alpha 3.
KE9 EOT, Kilo Echo 9, Echo Oscar Tango, Kilo Echo 9, Echo Oscar. Greg, McChesney Park, Illinois.
Kilo Foxtrot 0 Whiskey Bravo Hotel. Kilo Foxtrot 0 Whiskey Bravo Hotel.
5MEO, Justin in Conroe, Texas, KJ5JNJ. Bill, Benville, Ontario, Canada, VA3YBS. Welcome back. David Owensboro, Kentucky, W9DWH. Greg in Machese Park, Illinois, KE9EOT. Eric in Gunnison, Colorado, KF0 WBH, and there was one other station that doubled WD. I don't think it was David. If you could try it again, we'll get you in there too.
KJ5, JNJ, maybe it was me. Kilo Juliet 5, Juliet November, Juliet.
Let's see, it wasn't anybody I just called, but, well, okay, we'll figure it out later. It's not a problem. It may have just been, could have been David, but we'll see. All right, question of the night. What's your favorite nickname someone has given you, and how'd you get it? Up to the top, let's see. George is out of town, Little Island, Monterey, California, in 6MOT. You're up. In 6MOT, Little Island, Monterey, California. You're up. Wait a minute, I tried daylight time. It changes for everybody but us. Well, most everybody but us. You may not realize it. Same time as California now. It's 6MOT. One more try, and we'll check you later in a little while. Maybe later. I'm sure he knows about the time change. Just people forget. Dave in Portland. I don't think he forgot. KK7HLD. We'll find out anyway. What's your favorite nickname someone has given you, and how'd you get it?
All right, this is KK7HLD. First off, I guess my phone was smart enough to change my time to yours, because it didn't give me the wrong time for your start. But I don't know. I guess I gave myself Ham License Dave, because that's my call sign, KK7HLD, and some of the people on another net and stuff, they always call me Dave's Not Here, which, of course, the way it shouldn't work that way. They should be saying, I should be saying, oh, well, it doesn't matter. Anyways, it's from Cheech and Chong. Over to you.
We'll take it. And I was joking about the daylight savings time. There are only changes for Arizona. Everyone else is hearing us at the same time. It's just I have to start an hour earlier. Yeah, they really got to get rid of that. All right, your question, Dave, is okay. I have St. Patrick's Day is coming up. I have a few St. Patrick's Day questions here tonight, kind of in and out of the net. What's the traditional Irish dish often eaten on St. Patrick's Day in the United States? Is it A, corned beef and cabbage, B, shepherd's pie, or C, a bowl of Lucky Charms without the marshmallow?
Well, if I get a bottle of Lucky Charms without the marshmallows, I'm hunting somebody down for stealing all my marshmallows. And you would have had a major problem if you wouldn't have said in the United States. It's corned beef and cabbage, but you're not going to get corned beef in St. Patrick's Day land. Thank you very much. And by the way, I'm on my own beef. Corned beef is awesome. Yeah,
And figured out, yeah, that was an American tradition, not really an Irish tradition. It started over here, immigrants from Boston, wasn't native to Ireland. But you're correct, yeah, it was corned beef and cabbage is considered the traditional dish eaten on St. Patrick's Day, as he said, in the U.S. Thank you. Thank you, Dave. Mike, San Diego, KN6, MIK. What's your favorite nickname, and someone has given you, and how'd you get it?
Good Good evening, Alex. Always a pleasure. KN6MIK, Mike here in San Diego. Oh, I've had this one ever since I was a kid. They used to call me the Greek because of my last name. Go ahead, brother, hit me.
Yep, that is a tongue twister. That's for sure, unless you're Greek. Your question, Mike. What is the purpose of DNS on the internet? A, to translate domain names to IP addresses. B, to encrypt email messages. Or C, to decide which hot Asian singles websites load the fastest. Was that a leak to you, Mike?
Sorry, Alex, all I got was one answer to the question. I think you broke up. One more time, please.
You bet. What is the purpose of DNS, David November Sierra, on the internet? A, to translate domain names to IP addresses. B, to encrypt email messages. Or C, to decide which hot Asian singles websites load the fastest.
Alex, I'm going to go with A for Alpha. Always a pleasure, sir. KN6MIK, back to you.
Yep, that's the one. And translate domain names to IP addresses. That's what DNS does on the internet. Thank you, Mike. Victoria in Phoenix, so I knew that one. KK7AVK, what's your favorite nickname someone has given you, and how'd you get it?
Good evening, Alex. This is Victoria, KK7AVK. And I don't have a nickname other than my name, shortened Vicky. So I was trying to think of anything that somebody could have called me differently, but nothing comes up. So give me an easy question, okay? I've been the trend of not getting them. Back to you now.
Okay, yeah, Vicky thinks that's an excellent nickname to go by. Your question, Victoria, is okay. Well, which month of the year is the Earth the furthest from the sun? When are we the furthest from the sun? Is it A, December, B, July, or C, Ramadan?
I'm going to go with the thanks, Alex. Have a great evening. KK780K, back to next.
HTJ, welcome, Brent. What's your favorite nickname someone has given you, and how'd you get it?
Man, hi. But Alex, I think I just got this nickname at work. I work on a Navy base. Name me Shipwreck. Because our internet, which isn't my responsibility, keeps going down. It's Mediacom, the ISP sucks, but so they've given me the nickname of Shipwreck. Back to you, Alex.
Hi. Well, that's not too bad. It's coming good on Talk Like a Pirate Day. And your question, Brent. What was the original theme song of the TV show Happy Days? The original one. Was it A, Happy Days by Norm Gimbel and Charles Fox? B, Johnny Be Good by Chuck Berry, or C, Rock Around the Clock by Bill Haley and his Comets?
The only one I know is C, but since you said the original one, and I was never a Happy Days fan, so do I go with C, thinking that you're trying to trick me? I don't think that they would have paid that much in licensing fees for Chuck Berry. Oh boy,
Carefully, what was the answer again?
Charlie, KF6HEJ.
There you go, and that is correct. Yeah, Rock Around the Clock by Bill Haley and his Comets was the original theme song for Happy Days. They changed it later. The Happy Days song by Gimbel and Fox was introduced in 1976, 2 years after the start of their long-running sitcom. It was used until the series ended in 1984, long after the show literally jumped the shark. Thank you. Thank you, Brent. You got Timothy Tillamook, KK7NXE. What's your favorite nickname someone has given you, and how'd you get it?
This is KK7NXE. Probably the disgruntled donkey, just because sometimes I'm not always in a chipper disposition.
Okay, well, it could be worse. And my wife calls me a lot worse than that. Your question, Timothy, is... Here's what everyone knows. What primarily motivated Bacon's rebellion of 1676? How's your history? What primarily motivated Bacon's rebellion of 1676? Was it A, religious persecution, B, class conflict and frontier land disputes, or C, the price of bacon going up?
I'm going to take a wild guess and go Bravo. KK7NXE, back to net 73.
It looks like you stayed awake in history class to me. It was B, class conflict and frontier land disputes was the motivation behind the Bacon Rebellion of 1676. Thank you. Thank you, Timothy. Nicholas in Madison, Wisconsin, K9ESS. What's your favorite nickname? Someone has given you, and how'd you get it?
Good evening, Alex. KE9ESS. Let's see. Middle school, I got the nickname Copernicus because my name's Nicholas, and I had every one of my science fair projects was about astronomy, so it bothered me at the time, but later I wore it like a badge of honor because astronomy's cool. So, back to you.
Indeed, it is. That's a good nickname to have. Actually, I wouldn't mind that. Something smart, intellectual, scientific. Yeah. Instead of, never mind. Your question is, what is the symbol of Ireland often seen on St. Patrick's Day decorations? Is it A, Mr. Potato Head, B, the harp, or C, the leprechaun?
That sounds like a trick question if I ever heard one. I'm going to say Bravo, but obviously the Charlie is the answer that I think you're trying to red herring me towards, but I know the harp is also a pretty common Irish symbol, but what do I know? I'm not Irish at all. So anyway, that's my answer. Bravo.
Nicholas, are you implying that intentionally mislead somebody to take the wrong answer? And no, they don't identify with the nature spirit. It is the harp. Yeah, the harp. It's a symbol of Ireland. You see it a lot on Irish symbols and decorations and the like. It's also known as the stringed argent. And, of course, argent is silver. And Argentina was named after the Latin word for silver because the Roman conquistadors found silver in the mountains of Argentina. And I have no idea what that has to do with St. Patrick's Day, but you got it right. Thank you, Nicholas. Alex in Pasadena, Texas, KD5, AJZ. What's your favorite nickname someone's given you, and how'd you get it?
I had a couple of nicknames over the years. The one I probably liked the best is I was running services for a medical device company, and the reps would be calling in for some technical advice on devices, and I got the nickname after a rep meeting where they talked about me. Apparently, they all started calling me FM because they said I had that deep voice that should have been on FM radio. And I kind of liked that one, and I kept that one the whole time. Anyways, I'm ready for my question, Alex.
And you enunciate well and have a good microphone, too, no doubt. All right, Alex, your question is, well, you're in Texas, you might know this. In 1983, what Dallas Cowboys 99-yard run from scrimmage put them in the NFL record book? Who was that? A, Tony Dorsett, B, Roger Staubach, or C, a Cowboys cheerleader being chased by Tony Dorsett and Roger Staubach?
Unfortunately, I'm a transplanted Texan from up north, so in those days, yep, I was up north. No clue. Of the two, let's go for B, Staubach. Love the net as always, Alex. Awesome. 85 AJZ, back to you.
Well, Alex, unfortunately, it was taken C because we don't know. It was A, actually. Tony Dorsett was the one that ran the 99-yard run from scrimmage to put him in the yearbook. That's the yearbook, direction book. I kind of remember that game. I don't think I was really interested in football back then. I was still kind of young. Thank you, Alex. This is W7FTM along with K8 VKY. You're listening to the Saturday Night Trivia Net on the East Coast Reflector. I'm going to Roy in Blasdell, New York. K8 BYU. Roy, what's your favorite nickname someone's given you, and how'd you get it?
Alex and everybody on the net. K8 BYU. That would be Rescue Roy. The band that I hung out with, I'd go out to where they were playing after getting out of the racetrack during the summer and that, and I'd wear my shirt, which had my EMT patch and all that on it, and it said Rescue on the back. So they picked that up and stuck me with that moniker when they'd get me up there to do a number or two with them.
It didn't strike me as somebody who smoked there, Roy. Yeah, the other number, kind of number. Yep, that's pretty cool, though. And nice ring to it, too. Rescue Roy. Let's see if you can rescue yourself and answer this question correctly. Which instrument is most commonly heard in traditional Irish music? Traditionally heard, the most common one. Is it A, belching Guinness drinking pub patrons, B, the recorder, or C, the fiddle?
I'm going to go with the fiddle. And I'm 50% German, 25% Irish, and 25% English. So I'm always in conflict with myself.
Yeah, I can see how that would work. But you are correct. Yeah, it is a fiddle. It is a fiddle. They use the recorder a lot. And there's a band called Slain, Slaine, I believe it is. Some of their songs start the county down, and they use a very nice recorder. But normally it's a fiddle, and you got it. Thank you. Thank you, Roy. Fred Reno, K7FPS. What's your favorite nickname someone's given you, and how'd you get it? This could be interesting.
Hey, Alex, Vicky, and everyone on the net. Mine would be Major Mullet, because I rocked a mullet, and it was by a roller derby person whenever I was doing that, and that became my name. Let's see, twoevils.org/rollergirls, and I'll be on there twice. K7FPS, back to net. And if you have time for Jane, that would be cool too.
Okay, yeah, we can do that. And it was either Jane or your cat, I'm not sure. Or maybe both. Yeah, if she wants to play. Fred, your question is, okay, now don't look down. What is the only vowel on a standard computer keyboard that is not in the top row of letters? Not in the top row of letters. I've probably done this one before. Let's see if you can get it right. Is it A-O, B-U, or C-A?
As Jane sits across from me, she knows her keyboard. I have to look at it all the time. I'm going to go with Charlie on that one.
And Charlie it is. Yeah, it is A. It's in the second row. So very good, Jane. I doubt if I can answer that just on the fly either. Come to think of it, you don't really think of where they are. You just kind of know where they are. It's out of habit, I guess. Thank you, Fred. And Jane, if you like a question, first off, what's your favorite nickname? Someone gave you, and how did you get it?
Well, gosh, let me start, Alex, by welcoming you, and thank you for allowing me to join in. You know, the keyboard is quite simple if you know the keys. So A was very simple for me. But nicknames, gosh, I've had so many in my life, and for very different reasons. There's too many to explain. Are they all my favorites? Some are. Some aren't. But I'm not going to go into it. Shoot me a question. Thank you.
Well, you got us all interested in everything, and then you're not going to go, okay, that's all right. I understand. Some people like their privacy. Like some people don't like to put their history on their QRZ page, and they just rather keep it brief. So I understand that. Your question is, here's one you should know. The M1 carbine issued by the U.S. military in World War II uses what size cartridge? A 30 caliber carbine cartridge, B, a 50 caliber carbine cartridge, or C, an Epson printer cartridge?
Alex, could you repeat the question, please?
Oh, you bet. The M1 carbine or carbine issued by the U.S. military in World War II uses what size cartridge? Are we looking for the 30 caliber, 50 caliber, or Epson printer cartridge?
Given the name, I'm going to choose a 30 caliber, which I believe was answer A.
That's correct, just like the ones you guys got in your garage. Yep, that's a 30 caliber carbine cartridge. It's kind of an antique now, but if you're into the history of guns. Thank you, Jane. Glad you guys could make it tonight. Let's see, Robert, played by email. Let's go to Scott in Jamestown, New York, N7 FGP. Welcome back, Scott. What's your favorite nickname someone has given you, and how'd you get it? As a firefighter, maybe, or somewhere else?
Evening, Alex and Vicky. You know, one of my exes gave me the nickname of Sparky. And, you know, I'm not really sure why, but it probably had something to do with the Christmas tree, ladder, and fire. So, I don't know. Ready for a question?
I know, you rescue hundreds of people, save their lives, get people and pets out of burning buildings. But one Christmas tree you set on fire, and everybody remembers you for that. Your question, Scott. What port does HTTP typically use by default? Is it A, port 80, B, port 21, or C, port 404 not found?
Well, it's port 80, but yeah, you know, Christmas trees do burn pretty good. All right, anyhow, thank you for doing the net tonight, and I'm going to send it back to you.
Yeah, especially the dry ones. We ordered one from a real one year from, I think it was up in the northwest somewhere. Nice Christmas tree, smelled great. I think it was a Douglas fir, maybe one of the others. And after a few days, we started noticing all these bugs on our floor. They're big, like wormy-like bugs, and the cats were interested in them, but I have no idea what those were. But they're not native to Arizona because they didn't last very long, even in the living room. Thank you, Scott. And yeah, it's port 80, of course. Thanks. Port 404 a lot when I try to hook stuff up. And Joe in East Islip, New York, K2AP. K2AP, yep. What's your favorite nickname someone's given you, and how'd you get it?
Good evening, Alex and Vicky and the net. I have to say I can't think of any nickname, so I really couldn't answer that question. But my son-in-law Matt is going to answer the question as third-party traffic. So I'll pass it over to my son-in-law Matt to answer the question.
All right, you're gonna put Matt up as the sacrificial lamb this week again. Okay, that's all right, Joe. Your question is, first of all, no, you don't have the nickname. First of all, Matt, I should go right to the question. What does the Irish phrase Erin go brow mean? What does Erin go brow mean? Is it A, Ireland forever, B, good morning, or C, pass the potatoes?
If I remember my Gaelic correctly, I am going to choose Alpha. Thanks for doing the net, K2AP. Back to net.
Well done, laddie. Yes, it's Ireland forever. Erin go brow means very good. Thanks. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Matt. Glad you guys can make it tonight. And we're going over to Wes in Grants Pass, Oregon, KD6 EIR. What's your favorite nickname someone has given you, and how did you get it? I imagine with some of the people that you play for, yell out sometimes, but maybe there's one you liked.
Yeah, I just got it about a year and a half ago. Something called the various things, but some of the singer-songwriters in my area, we're trying to give each other little monikers. So I am known now locally as Pacific Northwest, also KD6EIR. And on YouTube, you see a long video with either KD6EIR or Pacific Northwest. I can look it up with those links. Back to you, Alex. Thanks for doing the net. K86EIR listening.
Thank you, Wes. Yeah, I'm sure we've been called worse things when we've attempted to play music. Probably me more than you, but your question is, Sean O'Feeney worked under what name as a movie director? Who was that? A. Stanley Kubrick. Funny, he doesn't look Irish. B. John Ford, or C. Alfred Hitchcock. Who was Sean O'Feeney?
Ooh, you're gonna get me this week. I think, golly, I guess Bravo. Hitchcock seems way too English, so the Bravo character, John Ford. I hope he was Irish. Anyways, how did I do?
Yep, but that's who it was, John Ford. His original name was Sean O'Feeney. He changed it, I guess, to something simpler to maybe more Hollywood friendly. He should have changed it to Thorinsky, but that, anyway. Thank you, Wes. You got it, buddy. Don in Kennewick, Washington, KI7ZRI, welcome back. And what's your favorite nickname someone has given you? And Dorothy, perhaps? And how did you get it?
Hey there, Alex, and everyone on that. Yeah, Dorothy gave me unagi after unagi don, which is my favorite Japanese ill dish. At work, I tried to get, in the spirit of Seinfeld, everyone to call me T-Bone, but instead they call me Coco the Monkey.
That's how you spell it, Vicky? Okay. Yeah, she knew. Thank you, Don. Your question is, which soft drink began in Morrison's drugstore in Waco, Texas in 1885? A. Pepsi Cola, B. Dr. Pepper, or C. Coors? Which soft drink are we looking for? Didn't hear anything that time. Try her again.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, it's Dr. Pepper, and I was saying that Dr. Pepper has a great museum in Waco, which I'd highly check out. He's a great libertarian and a great capitalist, so it's a really good museum. So Dr. Pepper.
And not only do you have the correct answer, you have the correct history of it, too. Yeah, it's it. Dr. Pepper 'twas. Thank you, Don. Going to Frank in Lancaster, New York, KC2 JPQ. Welcome back, Frank. What's your favorite nickname someone has given you, and how did you get it?
Good evening, Alex and Vicky, and anybody listening to the Trivia Net. The nickname was the other Frank. I was in a radio control airplane club, and there was two Franks, and people would get us when they call you up on the phone. No, you want the other Frank. So that's how that happened. And I'm ready for my question. Send it back to the net.
I know, that's kind of clever, actually. The other Frank. Your question, Frank, is, according to tradition, what happens if you don't wear green on St. Patrick's Day? A, you get pinched. B, you get scolded. Or C, you get attacked by the Irish Republican Army.
Of course, I'm not Irish, so I don't know traditions. I'll take a wild guess. A and Alpha. And great job on the net, as usual, Alex, and talk to you next week. C2JPQ.
And that would be correct. Yeah, it said you get pinched. I remember in school it was a good way to meet girls. Of course that was high school, but you're correct. You get pinched. Thank you, Frank. All right, it's W7FTM. And going next to Stephanie and Larry in Elk Grove, California, KN6JLW, KN6JLX. All right, guys, what's your favorite nicknames people have given you, and how did you get them?
Hi, Alex. This is Stephanie, KN6JLW, and Larry, KN6JLX. And Larry's nickname is Larry. And I think my earliest nickname was Little Heifer. I was born on a dairy farm, and I think I had the demeanor of an ornery cow. Go ahead.
All right, Little Heifer it is. Of course, that can be a... never mind. Your question is, Stephanie, who designed the x86 processor architecture? Who designed that 86 processor architecture? Was it A, AMD, B, Intel, or C, Maxwell Smart?
We're going Bravo tonight. Thanks for the net. We'll talk to you next week.
Yeah, sometimes people think it was AMD because they came up with a lot of, but no, yeah, the 86. Remember the old 386 when you were, boy, that was a really fast computer with Windows 3.1. Not. Thanks, guys. You got it. John in South St. Paul, Minnesota, KB0. GUF. Welcome back, John, and what's your favorite nickname someone has given you, and how on earth did you get it?
Well, good evening. Vicky, everyone on Trivia Net tonight. My first nickname was Froggy, after the character on The Little Rascals, because my voice in first and second and third grade and all my life has been the same pitch and timbre as it is today. I never went through that vocal change. I just always had this voice from little on. And that's how I got my nickname of Froggy. So after the Little Rascal character. So what's my question tonight?
All the people under 40 are going, the little what? Yeah, but Froggy was a favorite character, though. He was the funniest, anyway. Your question, John, is what type of computer memory is non-volatile? Yep, what type of computer memory is non-volatile? Is it A, ROM, B, RAM, or C, SPAM?
Read-only memory is non-volatile, if I remember anything correctly. And how I wish SPAM were more volatile, So that's my answer.
Yep, you got it. It's read-only memory, not random access memory. Is the most non-volatile. Yep, you know your computers. Thank you, John. I figured you'd get that one right. Chris, Hollywood, Florida, KQ4 UPK. Welcome back, Chris. What's your favorite nickname someone's given you, and how did you get it?
And everybody on the net, Vicky, everybody, my favorite nickname is Hollywood. I got it through a bunch of ham friends, and they named me Hollywood, so it stuck with me. Yeah, I think it's a good one. I'm ready for my question, big guy.
Chris, your question is, Mr. Hollywood, what did Irish author George Bernard Shaw describe as a perpendicular expression of horizontal desire? What was he talking about? A, dancing, B, ice skating, or C, wrestling?
Well, let me think about that. I think it's gonna. I'm gonna go with dancing. Dancing.
you got, dancing is what he referred to as a interesting character too. Yeah, a great writer, but he had a temperament. Irish people don't have tempers. Thank you, Chris. Teresa, College Station, Texas. Speaking of which, K85 MUS X K85 Lord MUX. Teresa, what's your favorite nickname someone's given you, and how'd you get it?
This is K85 Multiplexer. Let's see, favorite nickname somebody's given me. Probably the one that I can use on here would be Giggle Pants. Because I have a tendency to, once something strikes me funny, I start to giggle, and that's the end of any kind of conversation. What's my other question, Alex?
Well, it's because you have a great sense of humor on some of the campouts that you and I attended together at everybody else was being kind of dull, and we were making fools of ourselves. Your question is, well, who or what is Uriah Heep? Uriah Heep, A, an American rock band, B, a character in a Charles Dickens novel, or C, the garbled data left on your hard drive after your cord takes a dump.
You know, I've heard that, but I don't remember in what context. I'd like to say C, but I think I'm going to go with A. Thank y'all for doing it. 73 on K85 and UX.
Yeah, this is what throws people, because I think I've asked this one before, and they always pick the American rock band. Actually, Uriah Heep was a band, but they were a British rock band. They weren't American. The original Uriah Heep was a character in a Charles Dickens novel, David Copperfield. Yeah. So that's, if you want to read about the original, if you can stand reading that much of a novel. Thank you. Teresa, Patrick, Madison, Wisconsin. NT9A, Patrick, what's your favorite nickname someone's given you, and how'd you get it?
Well, I worked, first off, hello Alex, good evening, good to hear you. You have a voice like velvet, by the way. That's what my friend told me when she heard you start talking. So, excellent radio voice. But I got the nickname P-Rex when I was working at Starbucks during high traffic times, when I would just have to be on the move at all times and be at the ready for anything. I would stand around with T-Rex arms, apparently, unconscious to me. I wasn't trying to or knew that I was even doing it, and then one of my coworkers looked at me and asked me why I always did that, and I didn't have an answer, and she asked then if she could start calling me P-Rex, and I said, yeah, sure, why not? It's not offensive, so P-Rex. It's a pretty fun nickname. Back to you.
Maybe too much espresso? Your question, Patrick, is, okay, well, last week, anyway, I have a few more Women's History Month questions. I did some of these last week, so we'll do a few more because it's still Women's History Month, and I will give women all the respect they deserve during this, special time of the month for them, or special month of the time for them. I'm starting with the Weird News Trivia Story of the Week. Okay, which of these news headlines about women was an actual news story from last week? Here we go. A, in honor of Women's History Month, nation's thermostat set to 85 degrees. B, frustrated women demand trans women in public restrooms stop leaving the toilet seat up. That can be a problem. Or C, Spanish soccer team looking for a shirt Madonna wore at concert 36 years ago. Which of those is the real headline?
I'm sorry, could you repeat option, Charlie?
You bet. Charlie is a Spanish soccer team looking for shirt Madonna wore at concert 36 years ago.
going to go with Charlie. It could be Bravo or Charlie, but I think Charlie is probably the correct pure guess. Open right. Back to you.
And Charlie is correct. Yeah, Charlie. A Spanish soccer team looking for a shirt Madonna wore at concert 36 years ago. Wow, 36 years ago. Madonna would have been in her, mid-50s back then? Anyway, Team Celta Vigo, CELTAVIGO, how you people like to look this up and vet me, in search of a 36-year-old soccer shirt Madonna wore during the 1990 concert at the Baladio Stadium. Yeah, Baladio Stadium. Madonna appeared on stage wearing the club's colors during her Blonde Ambition tour in July of 1990. She delighted locals and brought unexpected attention to defender Jose Manuel Espinosa, whose number 5 shirt she wore. However, the whereabouts of the cherished garment are unknown, and after searching fruitlessly for decades, boy, they write pretty good stories out there. Celta is asking the 67-year-old Madonna, my mistake, to help find it for the club's archive. Now, I'm sure Madonna is going to jump right on that, just like she did Jose Manuel Espinosa. Thanks, Patrick. It's a W7FT along with K8VKY. You're listening to the Australian Tribune on the East Coast Reflector. And before I time it out, Kevin, Valley Springs, California, K6KJV. What's your favorite nickname someone's given you? How'd you get it?
Well, hello, Alex, Vicky, and everyone else on the net. This is K6KJV, Kevin, Springs, California, and after 26 years in the fire service and 43 years of marriage, I've been given a whole lot of them, and I answer to most of them. But my favorite ones is when I was in the fire service, it was Captain Kev, and then when I retired and became a Christian minister, people transitioned it over to Rev Kev. So that's what I go by now is Rev Kev. So let me have my question. Be gentle.
That works for me. All right. Question, Kevin. Let's see. Where are we? Oh, here we are. Who was the first woman to fly in space? First woman to fly in space in honor of Women's History Month. Was it A, Sally Ride, B, Valentina Tereshkova, or C, Janis Joplin?
Well, I'm sure Janis Joplin was pretty spaced most of the time when she's on stage, but I think it was Bravo, the Russian woman. So with that, back to you, Alex. God bless 73 and Maranatha.
And correct you are. Yeah, it was Valentina Tereshkova, the Russian woman, was the first woman to fly in space. Thank you. That's when Russia was the Soviet Union, and the Russians hadn't taken it back yet. And, well, it's a long story, but people like to confuse you in the media. And you're correct. Thank you, Kevin. May the roses bloom. Jose, Austin, Texas, KJ5MEL. All right, Jose, well, what's your favorite nickname someone has given you, and how'd you get it? KJ5MEL, are you still with us? Didn't come up on the monitor, so maybe later. Oh, wait, there's somebody. KJ5MEL, are you there? Moving on to Justin in Conroe, Texas, KJ5. J&J, what's your favorite nickname someone's given you?
Yeah, this is KJ5JNJ. You're not going to believe this one probably, but it's true, I promise. So, one of the only nicknames I've ever been given was Jebediah Mozariah Hiawatha Francisco. And so, how I got it, it was given to me by who was my best friend at the time, Michael Dunmore. And I think it was mostly drug-induced. I don't think he had any reason for it, to tell you the truth, other than that. But the funny thing was that it was so long that I needed a shortened nickname. Like, I needed a nickname for my nickname, so he started calling me Jebba for short.
Oh, the drug-induced? No, I couldn't have. It reminds me of the story of Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Tim the Wizard, John Cleese played Tim the Wizard. His name, when he was asked his name, when King Arthur and his group asked him his name, it's supposed to be this super long Celtic name that, like all these different letters. And John Cleese forgot it. And when his line came up, he just said his name was Tim. It was Tim whatever, he just said Tim. And of course they rolled with it, and that's how Tim the Wizard was born. Kind of along the same lines. Your question is, which woman has won the most Grand Slam titles? Is it A, that overweight woman you see eating breakfast at Denny's every morning? B, Martina Navratilova, or C, Serena Williams?
Well, I have no idea at all, so I'm going to have to totally guess on this one with, I'm going to go with, what am I going to go with? I'm going to go with C. Yeah, I don't even know who that is, but go ahead.
You don't pay attention to women's tennis? It's as popular as women's basketball. What's the matter? Yeah, it's Serena Williams. Yeah, it's Serena Williams. You got it. Thanks. Thank you, Justin. Bill in Dunnville, Ontario, Canada, VA3 YBS. What's your favorite nickname someone's given you, and how'd you get it?
Alex, as you know, Bill is a nickname for William, which is actually my real name. But back when I was a kid, my little brother, who was probably 2 or 3 at the time, used to call me Bull. And my mom always said it was because he couldn't pronounce Bill when he called me Bull. But I'm wondering now if he had another meaning there. Anyway, I guess I'm ready for my question. Go ahead.
Bull, a lot of family nicknames come by that way. Mostly kids or grandchildren mispronouncing their grandparents' names. All the Meemaws and Mammaws and other out there. That's even my grandmother would be called Mamma. So that's just the way it works. Thanks. Thank you, Bill. Your question is, well, you're in Canada, so you're probably educated. Which female poet wrote "Still I Rise"? Still I Rise. No, I didn't know this one either. A, Maya Angelou. B, Emily Dickinson. Or C, Sylvia Plath, who wrote "Still I Rise."
Tough one tonight, Alex. I think be the obvious answer, so I'm going to go with a different answer. I'll go with C for Charlie. Sylvia, whoever that was, Sylvia Plath. Thanks for doing that, Alex. Back to you, VA3 YBS.
Yeah, the funny thing is, Emily, if I say Emily Dickinson, I'd probably pick her too. It was Maya Angelou wrote "Still I Rise." Which is funny because Still I Rise sounds more like something a man would write. Yeah, just saying. Thank you, Bill. David, Owensboro, Kentucky, W9DWH. David, I know you know the answer to that last one, but tell me, what's your favorite nickname that somebody has given you, and how'd you get it?
Good evening, Alex, and everyone on the net. Well, I've done security all my life, and the first place I ever worked security, actually worked for the company itself, rather than through a contract security, and so I got to wear my street clothes. And across the street from me was another business that had a night shift, and, occasionally I'd wander over there and, talk to them for a little bit to help kill some time. And the place I was working at ended up going bankrupt. And so these people that I was talking to over across the street, they had contracted security there, and so they kind of helped me get on there, which meant I had to wear a uniform. So the first night I come in uniform, the supervisor about fell on the floor laughing, saying, "You look like Barney Fife." And so that stuck. I became Barney, and you might as well just play the part. So, I wasn't allowed to carry a firearm. I did carry a 22 caliber bullet in my uniform pocket, just to play along there. And luckily, they fired that contract security company, and it kept me. So I worked for the company itself again. But yeah, I was one bullet Barney.
Yeah, it's funny. You even had the bullet in the pocket, right? That was a great character. I mean, Don Knotts did a great job on that character, and from what I understand, after reading other trivia, although he acted real nervous and hyper all the time, he was the one who was calm, cool on the set, professional, and it was Andy Griffiths, who's supposed to be the calm sheriff. He was the one that was hyperactive. That's all right, David. Your question is okay. Ada Lovelace. One more of these. Women in history questions. Ada Lovelace is known for A, writing the first computer program, B, or C, having a very deep throat. Which one is it?
I don't know, so I'll cut it in the middle and say bravo. Thanks for running it as always, Alex. Hope to catch everybody next week. W9DWH.
Don't worry, folks. Kids aren't going to remember or know anything about that. It's A. Ada Lovelace wrote the very first computer program. Yeah, for Charles Babbage's mechanical computer back in the 1800s. So she actually wrote the software, for lack of a better word. Thanks, thank you, David. All right, it's W7FTM along with K8VKY. You're listening to the Saturday Night Trivia Net on the East Coast Reflector, and we're going to Gregory in Manchester Park, Illinois, KE9EOT. What's your favorite nickname someone's given you, and how'd you get it?
Good evening, Greg, KE9EOT. In many of my talents, worked as a sound engineer for a band, and I always came prepared and for them for supplies and food and treats and drinks, whatever would be on the road. And they gave me the name of Christmas because every time they showed up to a gig, it was always like Christmas with gifts and fun things. So Christmas or Christmas time kind of stuck.
That can have good and bad connotations, I'm sure you know, but that's kind of cool. I call you Chris for short. Yeah, that works. All right, Greg, your question is, which flower is often considered the first sign of spring? In most countries, I guess. Is it A, the daffodil, B, the tulip, or C, cannabis?
person just cuts in with the tools.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe in some countries, actually, it said the daffodil is the flower most often considered the first sign of spring. If they say so. Thank you. Greg. Eric in Gunnison, Colorado. Welcome back, KF0. WBH. All right, what's your favorite nickname someone's given you, and how'd you get it?
Hey, good evening, Alex on the net. KF0WBH. This is Eric out in western Colorado. I think my favorite nickname that I have is Big Eagle. My daughter and I like to play around with FRS radios, and she always insists that we both have nicknames. So she's got to be Big Sheep, and I'm Big Eagle. So yeah, there you go, Big Eagle, western Colorado. Back to net.
Lord of the Rings fans, are you? Okay, got you down for the Big Eagles in your question, Eric. I got another one of these flower questions, sorry. What type of tree often blooms in the spring with pink or white flowers? Pink or white flowers, what are we talking about? A, the cherry blossom, B, the oak tree, or C, cannabis here in Colorado.
Well, I do live in Colorado, so I'm going to go with A, cherry blossom. Back to you, Alex. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. As everyone knows, cannabis has yellow flowers. I would know, but you're correct. It's the cherry blossom. It blooms in the spring, pink and white flowers. Thank you. Eric Lynn, Sylvania, Ohio, KF80 EJA. Mm-hmm. What's your favorite nickname someone's given you, and how'd you get it?
Good evening, Alex on the net. So I basically just have boring variations of my actual first name, which is Leonard. But a good nickname story, in high school German class, we were assigned German-sounding names as our names for class. And one of the classmates' nickname assigned was Manfred, by a second. So Manfred was not very American sounding to his classmates and was two syllables, so it was easier to shorten it to Fred. So we always called this guy Fred. His real first name was Martin. If you called his house for Fred, his parents literally would say there's no one by that name here and hang up on you. KF8EJA, back to net for my question.
I guess they thought they had exclusive naming on them, but that's not too far from Montague, which is, I think there's an actress or somebody named Montague, which is German, of course, for Monday, but, you know. All right, Lynn, your question is, what animal is famous for migrating north in the spring? Is it A, the swallow, B, the penguin, or C, the snowbird?
I'm going to go with Alpha, the swallow. Back to you, and thanks for doing the net. KF8EJA.
And they used to come back to San Juan Capistrano, and now, these last 3 years, they decided probably not a good idea to travel to California. Funny, I came up with the same thought. You're right, it is the swallow. Yep. And they're famous for flying or migrating north in the spring, as long as they're not carrying any coconuts. Thanks. Jim in Byron Center, Michigan, KF8ADS. Almost to the end of the call list now. Jim, what's your favorite nickname someone has given you, and how'd you get it?
Good evening, Alex, and everybody on the net. My nickname was Hoss, Hoss. I got it from my brother-in-law. He worked with a guy from Kentucky, and I moved to Michigan from Kentucky. And when he and I met, I still had my southern accent and everything, so he just kind of, he knew this guy he worked with called everybody Hoss, so he started calling me Hoss. Unfortunately, I'm not a Hoss. I'm not like the big guy. I'm just this little guy. So everybody looks at me like, why are you calling you Hoss? So back to that.
Yeah, made famous, of course, by Dan Blocker in his role in Bonanza, so that's, that's a good nickname, though. Your question, Jim, is, I've asked this one before. Nobody's got it right yet, so the pressure's on, okay? If you've been listening. In the movie Monty Python and the Holy Grail, which of the following questions was not, I repeat, not, asked by the bridge keeper guarding the Bridge of Death? A, what is your quest? B, what is your favorite color? Or C, what is the airspeed velocity of an unladen sparrow?
I believe that's Charlie, Nat.
Finally, I can return this question. You got it correct. Yes, the only question not asked by the bridge keeper at the what is the airspeed velocity of an unladen sparrow? Because if you're paying attention to the last question, it's not a sparrow, it's a swallow. Swallow, yeah. And the scientific answer to the question is 11 meters per second. You have to know these things when you're a TrillionNet controller. Thank you. Thank you, Jim. Jason in Mobile, Alabama, Mobile, Alabama? No, Mobile. KR4, JVK. What's your favorite nickname someone has given you, and how'd you get it?
Hey, Alex and everybody on the net. This is KR4JVK. The nickname I got, the only one I've ever had was Slick, S-L-I-C-K. That was given to me by an AV technician that I worked with 20 years ago. And he gave that to me because every situation I ended up in, I always came out on top. I don't know how, but I always worked my way out of it. So, yeah, Slick, that was my nickname. What's my question, Alex?
At least it wasn't Slick Willie, huh? Yeah. All right, Jason, your question is, what is the term for the first full moon that occurs after the spring equinox? First full moon after the spring equinox. Is it A, the Paschal moon, B, the harvest moon, or C, the Keith moon?
I don't know that answer, so I'm going to go with B, Bravo.
Yeah, although there is a harvest moon, that one's in the fall. The Paschal, P-A-S-C-H-A-L, probably has religious connotations, I'm sure. Paschal moon is the first moon that occurs after the spring equinox. And not the Keith moon, although I like that guy. Thank you, Jason. Hope to hear you next Saturday. Let's go to Brian in Monticello, Kentucky. AC4BR, your last on the call list tonight. Brian, what's your favorite nickname and, well, that someone has given you, and how'd you get it?
Good evening, Alex and Jake and everybody on the net. I've been trying to think of this because really, I guess the only ones I ever went by was technically parts of my name. I had another friend of mine with the same first name, so most of my friends call me by my last name. But I don't guess that counts. I don't know if this counts either, but we're going to go with what the majority of other people shortened my first name to just the first letter, which is B, as in Bravo. That's really about it. I don't really have much in the line of nicknames, or at least not ones I want to keep. So, anyway, what's my question?
Well, you know, with that name, you can go to work for you'd be all set and ready to go. Your question is, what do you call the event where you plant trees during spring to help the environment? Is that A, Arbor Day, B, Earth Day, Or C, National Tree Planting Day.
Well, I'm not really sure, but A makes the most sense in my brain, so that's what I'm going to go with. A, alpha. Anyway, turn back to you, and so wish everybody a good evening. AC4BR.
Yep, that's it. Arbor Day goes way back. Not like these new events. Yeah, Arbor Day is when you plant trees in the spring to help the environment. And remember, everybody, save the trees. We're going to need them to hang the politicians. So plant a lot of them. That's the end of my call list. Anybody else like to check in? Full call sign phonetically twice, please. We'll get your trivia question. Come on.
Kilo Quebec 4, Oscar Quebec November. Kilo Quebec 4, Oscar Quebec November.
Kilo Delta 2, Kilo Sierra India. Kilo Delta 2, Kilo Sierra India.
KE2ELI, KE2ELI.
Kilo India 5, Whiskey Whiskey Uniform, KI5WWU.
KE2FLO, KE2FLO.
And we'll hold it there. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. We have Dusty in Orlando, Florida, KQ4 OQN. Welcome back, buddy. Christian and Manasseh. Hang on a second. Let me look at it. M-A-N-A. Manalapan, New Jersey. Jeff in West Henrietta. Emma Westerner. Jeff in West Henrietta, New York. KE2ELI. Lynn in Houston, Texas, KI5WW, and Mike in Buffalo, New York, KE2FLO, and Christian's call sign is KD2KSI. Up to Dusty in Orlando, KQ. OQN, what's your favorite nickname someone's given you, and how'd you get it?
I want to call it my favorite. It was created disparagingly, I would say, because I had guess I was a little too full of myself in my younger years, so the guys at the restaurant decided when I was too full of crap to nickname me Dusticles.
George?
Proud. It can be looked at two ways. Sorry. Your question is, Albert Einstein called this the most difficult thing to understand. What was he talking about? A, the space-time continuum. B, women. Or C, income taxes.
I don't think income taxes were invented yet, and I would say women.
Short?
Well, so would I. However, he was around long enough for income taxes, and that's what he said. Income taxes, smart man. And there's somebody wanting to break in there with a comment. Come with your call sign, please.
This is Victor Echo 3 Delta Juliet Zulu. Just wanted to do a radio check, guys. I was in a portable here. First name Huey here in Hamilton. Alpha coming in okay?
Oh, no problem. We always welcome radio checks in the middle of the net. You're sounding good. Stick around. We'll give you a trivia question later. Okay, boy, Vicky got rid of him real quick. Thank you, Dusty. Christian and in New Jersey, Katie to KSI, welcome back. And what's your favorite nickname somebody's given you, and how'd you get it?
Katie to KSI. It's always so dry and hilarious on Saturday nights. I love it. I love the way you run the net. I didn't have many nicknames throughout my life. Everybody just calls me Chris, short for Christian, obviously. But the most memorable one was Boy Scout camp when I was around 11 or 12 years old, and our counselor had about 10 minutes to learn all of our names before we were off to do something, and he just gave everyone names, and he called me Smurf, like the cartoon, because I was the smallest one, and it's just something that always stuck out in my memory, because it was very memorable and nostalgic time in my life, and we had a good time that summer. So, back to you.
Well, I guess it depends on which Smurf. Now, Papa Smurf, he was the wise one, so that's all right. Did you go back later and kick their butts when you got older and bigger? Yeah, that's all right. Probably had a good idea. Your question, Christian, is in Manalapan, New Jersey, is according to a popular fable. Do they still do those for young people? I don't know. According to a popular fable, who sold a cow for 5 beans? Sold a cow for 5 beans. Was that A, Jack, B, Goldilocks, or C, the Green Giant?
That would be Alpha Jack. Jack's a moron. He should have kept the cow and probably could have impressed Goldilocks. And thanks for running the net. Katie to KSI.
Yes, sometimes it's good to blend these fairy tales together. You can come up with an interesting story, and it was Jack. Yeah, it was Jack. I didn't know how young you were, and I guess you're still telling fairy tales and fables in school. Thank you, Christian. Jeff in West Henrietta, New York. Pronounce that one okay. KE2ELI. What's your favorite nickname someone's given you, and how'd you get it?
Many years ago, in my 20s, I used to enjoy a beer called Honey Brown enough that everyone called me Honey Brown. This is back in the 90s. So back to you. What's my question?
Honey Brown, you could have been a soul musician or singer, or a rap musician. Maybe that wouldn't work. Honey Brown, that would work. Thanks. Thank you, Jeff. Your question is history question for you. What was the main goal of the Homestead Act of 1862? Was it A, to increase federal tax revenue, B, to encourage Western settlement, or C, to replace the Indians of Oklahoma with my relatives, the Okies?
A lot of great answers for C, but I'm going to go with Bravo B. Back to net.
Yep, you got it. Paid attention in history class. Yeah, it's to encourage Western settlement in the Homestead Act of 1862, which is in the middle of the Civil War. It's the war between the states. Thank you. Thank you, Jeff. Lynn, Houston, Texas. Oh, by the way, it's a W7FTM in Scotts, Arizona. Going to Lynn in Houston, Texas, KI5WWU. What's your favorite nickname someone's given you, and how'd you get it?
Good evening, Alex and Vicki. Thanks for running it. KI5WW Lynn in Houston. This goes back to the early 90s. I was working for a very large accounting firm here in Houston, and some of the guys in our group, we were sitting around shooting debris, and somehow or another day, one of the guys was very interested in the Vietnam War, and I barely missed it. So apparently I got a bunch of questions correct in a row, and started calling me Ho Chi Minh, and it sort of stuck through, 3 more employers. I'm ready for my question, sir.
Well, that's got to be one of the most unusual nicknames to be calling somebody, but that's, yeah, I know what you mean. When my birthday and 73 came up as the number 1 draft pick number for that year, and Nixon went and ended the draft. Was it 72 or 72, I guess? And he ended the draft the next year, making it retroactive, and so I didn't wind up in Vietnam, but I would have joined the Navy to make my father happy anyway. He was a career Navy guy. Your question is, I got a geology question for you. What type of boundary occurs where tectonic plates move apart? What do you call that boundary there? Is it A, divergent, B, convergent, or C, invergent?
Well, I had 6 hours of geology in 1978 and 74, and this is going to show, I think it's alpha. Thanks for running the net, KF5WW.
Apparently that was enough. Yeah, it was divergent is the type of boundary that occurs when tectonic plates move apart. You got it. Thanks. Hi, Lynn. Mike in Buffalo, New York. Last round list, KE2FLO. Welcome back, Mike. And what's your favorite nickname someone has given you, and how'd you get it?
Everyone tonight. My nickname, well, it wasn't one I really liked, but it ended up growing on me and stuck with me for life. Mine was Fatty, with a F-A-T-T-Y, and that kind of explains itself. It kind of had to stick around. You kind of get sick of roughing people up. So, yeah, Fatty was my nickname, and it still is today. And I lost all that weight, but it's still here. And with that, I'll answer my question now.
I understand, Mike. I was a skinny kid. I had the opposite moniker and gained weight and went back, and yeah, it's, well, don't hold grudges anymore. Although there was a guy at my high school reunion, my 50-year high school reunion, I was going to take out into the parking lot, but unfortunately he passed away before he could make it. Your question is, which layer of the Earth is liquid? More geology. Which layer of the Earth is liquid? A, the outer core, B, the inner core, or C, the common core?
To be honest, I didn't really pay attention during that time in school. But I'm going to go with guess with Charlie there. And I'll say back to you, K2FLO, 73s, everybody.
Thank you, Mike. Glad you could play tonight. It's the layer of the Earth that is liquid is the outer core. I thought it would be the inner, but no, that's solid. It's the outer core. Then you got the mantle, and then you got us up on top. And anyway, thank you, Mike. All right, taking more check-ins for the Eastern Trivia Net. Full call sign, phonetically twice, please. Come on now, don't be afraid. I'll skip over the geology questions if they're really that difficult. Full call signs, phonetically twice, please.
KG508, Kilo Golf 5, Juliet Romeo Alpha.
KE9YW. Victor Echo 9, Yankee Whiskey.
Kilo Echo 9, Echo Mike Victor. Jason from Poinet, Wisconsin.
Okay, picked up 3 more there. Dominic, Navasota, Texas, KG5, JRA. Welcome back, Scott, in Public Landing. Oh, I'm sorry, you're in Canada. No wonder I didn't recognize the name of the name of the town. VE9WYW. And Jason in Pine Net, Wisconsin, KE9. EMV, question of the night, what's your favorite nickname someone has given you? And Dominic, KG5, JRA, what say you?
My parents gave me Nick, since my name is Dominic.
Yep, that'd be a good nickname. All right. Actually, Dominic's a great name. It's a very long history, religion, Catholic religion especially, but we won't go there. Your question is, speaking of which, where does the phrase "read the writing on the wall" come from? Read the writing on the wall. We've all heard that. Where does it come from? A, Shakespeare. B, the Bible. C, the Tommy Two-Tone song 867-5309.
I'm going to have to answer probably the first answer you said.
Actually, it's B, the Bible. The phrase "read the writing on the wall" comes from the Bible, Daniel 5, if you want to look it up. So it's been around a long time, even longer than Shakespeare. Thank you. Dominic, going to Scott in Public Landing, New Brunswick. I believe it is Canada, VE9YW. Okay, what's your favorite nickname someone's given you, and how'd you get it?
Well, thank you for having me in there in that control. His name was back in 1974, I guess. I think I was around 8 years old then. We used to drive Kmart shopping carts down the hill. We put the old helmets on, the hockey gear, knee pads and stuff, and we'd pack some padding around there from the old mattress from the lawn chairs, and we'd push each other down the hill, and I guess when I got down to the end, I hit the curb and I flew out, and my friends were all laughing at me, and they said, "You look like Grover coming out of the garbage can." So I got the name Grover. That stuck with me for, I'm 58 now, and I had that since I was 8. So yeah, I had it for a long time. That other question here, just before me, I would have picked 3, 8675309. That's what I was going for. Anyways, let me have my question. I'll see if I can get it right.
Grover's a good nickname. There are other characters they could have named you that would have been probably worse, but yeah, the Tommy Two-Tone song, the one-hit wonder. What a great song that was. I mean, I was way past listening to that kind of music, and I heard that and I thought, these guys aren't bad. Your question is, Lagnoparesia is a fancy condition. A, the heartbreak of psoriasis. B, ED, and I don't mean you, Ed, as far as I know, if you're listening. Or C, nymphomania. What does Lagnoparesia, that's a condition. Which one of those is it?
Well, I don't even know what the word means. So I'm going to have to go with Splitter down the middle there with Bravo.
Splitting it down the middle is a good expression, only in this case, now, lagnoparicia is nymphomania, is what they call nymphomania. So it's, if you know your Greek history, you anyway, it's, yeah, thank you, Scott. I promise I'll give you a better question next time. Hope to hear you next Saturday night. Jason, Pontiac, Wisconsin, K9EMV. I bet you knew that one. What's your favorite nickname someone's given you, and how did you get it?
So sound kind of silly, but back in high school in gym class, I got a nickname of Gazelle. Found out that in the first few days of playing football, that I was the fastest kid around, and it didn't matter where I was standing on the field. If I had three people standing around me, they'd always throw the football to me and expect me to run around them. So, yeah, I got the nickname Gazelle. What's my question there? Thank you.
If you can run and catch a football, and I mean, if you can catch a football and run like hell, that's an appropriate name. The problem is the defensive linebackers are lions, and they're pretty fast too. Your question is, who spoke for the first time in a Bugs Bunny cartoon in 1951? Yeah, who spoke for the first time in a Bugs Bunny cartoon in 1951, which predates me? A. Elmer Fudd, B. the Roadrunner, or C. Mel Blanc?
I'm going to go with A. Elmer Fudd, I believe.
Yeah, you know, the funny thing is, Elmer Fudd was in just about every Bugs Bunny cartoon, but this time it was the Roadrunner. It never said anything, and I guess he gave his first beep in a Bugs Bunny cartoon in 1951, and then later went on to have a show of his own. So that's Hollywood fame for you. Thanks. Thank you, Jason. This is W7FTM along with KVKY. That's the end of the check-in list. I'm taking more check-ins for the Eastern Night Trivia Net. Full call sign phonetically twice, please.
KR4, KDQ, KR4.
Kilo Juliet 5, Bravo Lima Victor. Kilo Juliet 5, Bravo Lima Victor.
We have tomorrow, Mark in Orlando, Florida, KR4, KDQ, and Gerardo in Pasadena, Texas, KJ5BLV. Welcome back, guys. The question tonight is, what's your favorite nickname someone has given you, and how did you get it? And Mark in Orlando, or maybe you're new, Mark. I thought you were somebody else, but welcome to the net. What's your favorite nickname, and how did you get it?
Good evening. I think my favorite nickname I've had in my life, I've had a few. I have one currently that people at work call me. Nothing derogatory or anything, just a play on my last name. But my friends, for some reason, used to call me Ray. R-A-Y, Ray. My name is Mark. It has nothing to do with my name. But my name was, when we were kids, all my friends referred to me as Ray for some reason.
That's okay. And like I said, it could be worse. Like, the company I worked for when I was younger, back in the 80s, I think it was, it was a distribution company. And we, as a joke, we had name tags, put on our shirts, and they all said Roy. We were all Roys. So because the manager thought that was funny. Probably couldn't do that these days. Your question is, in 2012, a visitor to the Australian Art Gallery ruined the 19th century statue of Narcissus by A, drawing a mustache on it, B, planting a kiss on the statue's bare behind while wearing lipstick, or C, throwing it on a Barbie.
B, planting a kiss.
Yeah, that was such a weird story. I'm glad you heard of it. Yeah, he planted a kiss on the statue's bare behind while wearing lipstick. Some woman thought it would be pretty funny, and well, it's a very, very old statue, and lipstick, modern lipstick anyway, is not conducive to preservation. Thank you, Mark. Gerardo, Pasadena, Texas, KJ5BLV. What's your favorite nickname someone's given you, and how'd you get it?
Easton in kindergarten couldn't pronounce my first name, Gerardo. So she's like, you look like a Jerry, so that'll be your new nickname. And it kind of stuck ever since I was 5. And my family ended up calling me Jerry with the Spanish accent. So, yeah, I guess that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, Jerry with a G. Yeah, that works for Gerardo. I'm going to call you Gerardo Rivero. Yeah. Your question is, let's see, astronaut Alan Shepard was the first American to A, walk on the moon, B, orbit the moon, or C, be launched into space.
That's a hard one. Gosh, I saw that movie years ago, The Right Stuff. I think he was in it, but I can't remember which character he played. I'm gonna go with Charlie on that one. Maybe launched into space. But anyway, hopefully it's right. But if not, hey, great, Ned. Thank you for running it, and have a good evening. Bravo Lima Victor. I'll be clear. Thank you.
Yeah, he did walk on the moon. He just wasn't the first one. But you're right, it's C, be launched into space. He was the first American to be launched. I think it was on the Explorer. Is that anyway, but he was the first. Thank you, Gerardo, you got it. All right, see you to my call list and taking more check-ins for the Saturday Night Trivia Net. Full call sign phonetically twice, please.
VK1JT is a juicy tomato in Canberra.
And we picked up John in Australia, VK1, juicy tomato himself. And by the way, it was the Mercury spacecraft that launched Shepard, just to make sure that's correct myself there. John, what's your favorite nickname someone has given you, and how'd you get it?
Primary school, I was tinkering with some electronics and bits and pieces, and my first nickname was MacGyver. And when I was 10, they started calling me Professor on the CB radio from the other adults.
Yeah, MacGyver's a good nickname, especially the original one, not the remake later. All right, your question is, which event celebrates the beginning of spring in Japan with blooming cherry blossoms? What do they call that? event with the cherry blossom festival going on? Is it A, Hanami, B, Oban, or C, the cherry special?
Cherry blossom special.
Well, there's. I can try it again, John.
B for Oban.
Well, I thought because you're closer to Japan than we are, you would know. I didn't know. It's the Hanami festival. It celebrates the blooming of the cherry blossoms in Japan. Of course, they celebrate it in Washington too, but it's called something else. The Cherry Blossom Festival. Thank you. Thank you, John. I hope to hear you next Saturday. And I think I heard someone else in there taking more check-ins. So call sign phonetically twice, please.
This is KG5EGD, Alvin in Houston, Texas. Where'd you go?
We're still here, just seeing if anybody else wanted to check in. Alvin. Okay, Houston, Texas, KG5EGD. Welcome to the net. Oh, you've been here before. What's your favorite nickname someone has given you, and how do you get it?
My favorite nickname is Speedy Gonzalez, and I got that on the CB radio when I was on CB. And it just stuck with me.
Yeah, that's one that didn't survive to the new age, but that's okay. One of my favorite characters actually was very complimentary because he was fast, he was smart, and he always outsmarted the Pussycats. Your question, Alvin, is who was the last president of the old Soviet Union? Was that A, Mikhail Gorbachev, B, Nikita Khrushchev, or C, Bernie Sanders?
Well, I think I'll go with B. Yeah, B.
Close, but no white Russian. It's actually Mikhail Gorbachev was the last president of the old Soviet Union, and gradually they kicked out their oligarchs, and Russians took over again. But yeah, he was the last one. Of course, if it weren't for him, the reforms wouldn't have gone in, and the change wouldn't have happened. The Berlin Wall wouldn't have fell. So, all right, thank you, Alvin. Okay, last call. Check into the Saturday Night Trivia Net. Full call sign phonetically twice, please. All right, then. Let's see how we did tonight. Let's see. We had 48 people check in tonight. And do we have any in and out? So maybe one or two. And of those who gave answers, 31 people got their questions correct. and only 15 people missed their questions. As far as the question of the night, well, that was different for everybody. Everybody has a different nickname, so we won't even go there. But anyway, I'd like to thank everybody who participated. And, of course, special thanks to VKY for logging the net. And tireless logging pulls out the stations I can't even hear in the double, so that's amazing. The East Coast Reflector hosts many interesting nets, most which Vicky logs. During the week, for more information, visit eastcoastreflector.com and select the Nets tab on the main page. We are now returning control of the ECR back to normal amateur use at 9:51 p.m. Arizona time, or 4:51 a.m. UTC. Until next week at the same time, when the control voice will take you to the train at 7:30. Good night, W7 FAM clear.
K4BBR, Alex, you're going to have to quit signing off every time I sign in, or attempt to sign in late. This is 2 weeks in a row. Missed you. Anyway, K4BBR, have a great night.
Oh, you don't get away that easy. We still have a few minutes left. Would you like a question there?
Alex, I just totally lost you. You were there for a second, then it quit.
No problem, boys. They say it's still not quite. We're still in the zone of not being quite over. If you want a question, we can get you on, or if you just want in and out, let me know.
Well, at this late date, I guess I'll just go in and out, but I just wanted you to know I love participating. I've been busy the last 2 weeks, and literally last week, as soon as I turned the radio on, you signed off, and then tonight I walked in here and I turned on, and you were signing off. So, maybe next week, I guess. Anyway, have a great week, buddy. It's always good to hear your voice. K4BBR.
Yeah, no problem, boys. We'll give you in and out. That's, of course, they set it back an hour. It's now in Arizona, so it's, some of the local people may have missed it this week. So, anyway, talk to you next time. Thanks. W7FTM will be clear.
K4BBR, clear.
EK2, EY, I think I got that correct. Thanks for doing the net. You did a great job. You're excellent net controller. Thank you very much, DE9YW.
Hey, thank you, Scott. Hope to hear you next Saturday, too. You're always welcome on this net, so catch you next time, W7FTM.